Hello guys, and welcome back to our new ever discussion, or should I say video lessons. How are you then? This will be the first time that I will have a video lesson concerning English, especially English 9. And I'm hoping that even in this lesson, we'll go to understand the topics that we will go to discuss in the entire school year. So here are the following topics, and here we will go on to discuss the following points that we must have to consider, from modals, conditionals, and communicative styles. So let's begin. Expressing permission, obligation, and prohibition using modals. So in this discussion, we will discuss what are modals and what are the words that we can use in expressing permission, obligation, and even prohibition. Modals are also called modal verbs and modal auxiliaries. Modals give additional information about the use of the main verb that follows it in a sentence. So, modals were called modal verbs and modal auxiliaries. So, how did we know it? If we look at the example given, we will know what are the characteristics of modal verbs. First point, their form never changes, meaning you cannot add s, ed, or ing to the main verb. If we look at the correct sentence with the emphasized word, you see this one. All should sign before the contest. Not all should, not all shoulded, and not all shoulding. These were also wrong spellings. Okay? Also, an infinitive always follows them without to. It is also called the bare infinitive, like the examples given. In first sentence, you must limit your child from using a cell phone, which is we don't find any word to. Also, the next one is this: I could tell everything that happened, not I could tell to everything that happened. We don't see the term to. And lastly, they are used to express functions such as permission, obligation, prohibition, and the like. So let's go to the following. Modals expressing permission. And what are those words? Can, could, and may. You can use the word can to ask for and give permission. That's it. Can is less formal and direct among the three. Like for example, can you lend me your book for a week? You can disarrange the set now. She can give comments on my video lesson. Another one for the word could. You use could to ask for permission but not to give it. It's a more polite form than can. Example given: could I give my stand on the issue? Could you explain why you stopped going to gym? Also, the term could is also the past form of the modal verb can, where it can be used to express that someone was allowed to do something in the past. Like, for example, we could enter the school without checking our temperature. And we could go to Baguio anytime. We can use the term may when asking or giving permission as well, but it is used in more formal situations. Unlike the terms can and could, may is a word, or let me say a modal word, that was used in a more formal situation. Like for example, may I know your available time tomorrow? Another one, you may go to refrigerator and get something to eat. Lastly, she may proceed with her presentation. So these are the examples of the sentences that are using modals expressing permission. How about modals expressing obligation? We have the following: has or have, to, must, and should. Let's go to the terms has or have to. We use has or have to express a strong obligation. It shows us that the obligation does not come from the person who is speaking. It may be a general rule or a law. Like for example, in plural subject, we have to pay bills on time. In singular subject, Ellie has to work tonight, so he cannot attend the party. If we use that terms have to, we are using it in a plural subject. And what is the plural subject of the sentence? We have to pay bills on time. We. On the second sentence, which is Ellie has to work tonight, so he cannot attend the party. Well then, we are talking about Ellie, which is singular. So at this point, let's go to the word must. You use must to talk about obligations that come from the person who is speaking. It also expresses a strong obligation or necessity. Like for the following examples: I must keep striving for my future. I must have to study for my future. I must have to be industrious at my work. And you name it. Here's other ones, other examples. You must listen attentively to the speaker. Her ideas are helpful. And children must be careful when crossing the street. Also, the term should. You use should to express a weak obligation. So, unlike the terms has or have to and must, the term should expresses a weak obligation. We also use it to give advice, telling people what you think is a good idea. For example, you should put the camera in the cabinet, or you should start watching Friends. It has brilliant actors. Or let me use a certain sentence based on that. You should start watching Gomburza. It has historical data to follow. So here are the sentences that use modals expressing obligation. Now what about prohibition? Modals expressing prohibition: can't, must, not, and may not. So what are the uses of those words? So let's go to the following. We use can't to talk about something that is against the rules. It is less formal than the to. For example, you can't drink the water here. People in the library can't talk to one another. We cannot record videos in the cinema. They are really strict about it. So we have that. Okay? As we see, it is a direct prohibition, so to speak. How about the terms may not? You use may not to prohibit something in a formal way. Unlike the term can't, that is less formal, although it sounds like directly, may not is to prohibit something in a formal way. So then, what are the following examples? You may not watch the television show. Employees may not have close contacts during physical reporting, and others. How about must not? You use must not when talking about things that are not allowed. They are prohibited and forbidden due to real laws, regulations, or personal obligations. Unlike can't and may not, the terms must not were used as a prohibition due to real laws. Like for example, the laws of the land, and you name it. So, what are the following examples? You must not ignore the school guards and caretakers. The class must not use cell phone during exam, and he must not contradict doctor's findings to his medical exam. So as you can see, we have good reasons to use these following words when it comes on obligation, permission, and prohibition. I remind every single student here to review the following sentences and how the words were used, especially when it comes on, for example, you will write some sentences or paragraphs that were using modals for expressing prohibition, obligation, or even permission. I hope that we have learned a lot about this. Okay? So thank you so much for listening to our video lesson, and wait for our second topic. So thank you so much and have a great day. As I've said, study well.